month's Wisdom Wednesday. I'm Zoe Buckley from Learning Boosters. Today we're going to look at 4 guidelines that parents can use to help children to quietly overcome any learning difficulties that they may have. So learning these days is different. Among endless distractions and increasingly busy parents, children are challenged to sit still and to absorb that information. Learning difficulties are on the rise. But parents have the power to guide their children through these challenges for positive outcomes. It simply requires a positive outlook and a structured approach. So guideline number 1, let's have a look at the education system and the common learning difficulties. So the education system and the need to participate in structured learning programs started in the industrial age. Writers and readers were needed to perform crucial jobs in society. Today, society's needs have changed more drastically than our schooling system has managed to facilitate. So as a result, school-based learning has become that one-size-fits-all, unfortunately. But that's what they used back in the industrial age. So let's face it, children don't work that way. There really isn't one-size-fits-all. So a growing number of children find the methods in which they are currently learning the content, how it's delivered, they find it difficult to understand. And this is due to no fault of the school or the teacher or even the child for that matter. It's simply a reality we need to adapt to. As parents, having a child who battles academically, that can feel very daunting. You can feel like you're actually on your own. With the right support in place, along with a great tutor, parents can ease the pressure on the system and position their child for success by following a few basic steps. Number 2, let's look at releasing guilt and shame. This will help to overcome common learning difficulties. So not only the guilt and shame of the child, but also the parent may well be feeling that as well. When our children experience learning difficulties, it's easy to take that as a sign that you've failed them as a parent. This can lead to feelings of guilt and shame. A child's inability to perform well is not a reflection on anyone's parenting skills. It simply means the child has encountered an obstacle and that they're battling to overcome it. So by releasing all the preconceived notions that tell us this is shameful, and we are able to embrace the situation and face it with a positive mindset. So we need to be careful not to downplay the immense frustration your child has experienced or you're experiencing for that matter. Let the child feel heard and ensure that there is no guilt or shame. Number 3, rewriting negative thought patterns to beat learning difficulties. So what do I mean by this? Many adults within my hearing sometimes try to shame children into achieving. You should have mastered this by now. I mastered this at your age, or it's actually quite simple, or your brother or sister had mastered this by your age. They feel like encouragement, but they're actually harmful. Behind every learning difficulty, there is a negative association with that subject. So research indicates that children who are shamed for failing to understand, well, they're less likely to try it, just like us adults. So we see this kind of thing, and I see this kind of thing as a teacher and a tutor over and over. So we need to break these negative associations. And it is difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's necessary to achieve success. So the way I do it is I encourage the child. If you find it difficult to get involved as a parent without getting frustrated, acknowledge those feelings of frustrations. They're your own feelings. They're not caused by your child. Get some help from someone like myself, a tutor, who can help you in these areas. Your child is the only your child is the only one that can push your buttons that already exist, and these situations are immensely helpful to involve that third party, such as myself. Number 4, make our brain happy. Make them love information retention. So positive associations to learning will increase the brain's ability to retain information. There's a very simple explanation for this. When we're stressed or under pressure to succeed, the body is in that fight or flight mode. So the sympathetic nervous system is called into action to help the body survive. So that's the sympathetic nervous system comes into action. Adrenaline is released, the heart rate increases for more oxygen to the lungs, and the thinking part of the brain, or the frontal cortex of the brain, that takes a back seat. So think about it like this. How likely are you to understand maths, for instance, when you're being chased by a lion? Yeah, I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? A child who is stressed and under pressure at school may be sitting in their chair, but their brain and body have undergone the same chemical processes as if they were being chased by that lion. They cannot understand the lesson being taught, even when they are desperately trying. And it is a natural reality. So this is why it's really crucial for us to get the child's stress levels under control in order for them to be able to engage the brain and allow them to absorb the information that they need to. Positive outcomes and greater academic success are achievable. I hope these 4 guidelines help. They're only a tip of the iceberg. And the modern day understanding of neuropathic ways give us a variety of methods to address these learning difficulties. So allow your children to attain their full potential beyond what you could have envisioned. There is great benefits in talking to us at Learning Boosters. We can reassure you and set your child on the right path. If you would like to contact us for more information, please go to learningboosters.com/workwithme/. Have a look at this blog and other blogs. Also, have a look at the blog learningboosters.com.au/Wisdom Wednesday Get to Know Learning Boosters. A tutor can really help you to work out what it is that's happening with your child and how to help them to de-stress so that learning is easier and becomes natural. I hope this has helped, and I will see you next time. See you next week. Bye for now.